see here. There we go. Looks like we're live. Oops, I just keep kicking the camera. Alright. Sweet. Looks like there's a bug in here. Let's go to live chat. Alright. That looks good. Alright, let's try it. Let's try this anyway, see how it goes. Hopefully I can be heard and I don't have the same audio glitch that I did last time. But anyway, welcome back to another live stream. Today we're going to be making instrument cable. Never done it before, so you know, we'll figure it out. Can't be that much different than speaker cable. I got all my parts, so I bought some Mogami cable. Did a little research. They seem to be kind of the one of the big dogs in the instrument cable, speaker cable. This is a 2524 cable. It's a little thinner than I was expecting, to be honest with you. I was kind of expecting a little bit of a thicker cable, but we'll see how it goes. Seems to be about the right thickness though, because when I put this tip on, it barely has any extra room there, so seems about right. So we'll see how it goes. Anyway, and so I'm making this cable for a friend. He wanted some speaker cable, instrument cable, and I said I'd make it any color and I'd use any kind of Techflex he wanted. He wanted it straight up black, so black on black, kind of weird, but you know, it'll give it a little bit more of a premium feel. So better than just sort of plain cable with just a 1/4 inch tip on it. So this is a mono 1/4 inch tip. I got this from Nutric. I don't know if you can see that, but they also seem to be another big player in the component parts game. So a lot of people respect them. So why not? So good cable, good parts, some Techflex. Let's make it happen. All right. Hopefully it's not too loud. I have the AC on because it's a bit warm down here. In any event, let's just get started. So I'm gonna kind of wing this one. So warts and all, you'll see how this goes. Because I haven't really thought this through. I suspect the easiest thing. So what I want to really do is I want to make sure that I'm able to get the Techflex over it, and this is a really, really, really tight fit. So I think the idea is to put a little bit more Techflex than I have cable, and so that I can have a really narrow tip that I can fit this through and then slide it over. We'll see if that works. This is 10 feet, a little over 10 feet, probably like an inch or two over 10 feet, probably 3 inches over 10 feet. Just to have a little extra wiggle room. So if you've seen me do my other video, you know that the longest part of this is sort of snaking on the Techflex. So it's sort of like the biggest pain in the butt part. So here we go. If you're watching live and you have questions, by all means, please, you know, monitoring on my iPad over here. Chat, I don't really expect many people to chime in because I don't really have that many followers right now on this channel. I have another channel, Zexin, Z-E-X-C-I-N. That was supposed to be my tech channel. I think I'm just going to use that right now. That's also my gaming handle. I'm going to use it mainly for doing my sort of like highly produced sort of tech videos. This is a live stream, so I have more viewers on that channel. So I think I'm just gonna let that channel build up, and then when I hit critical mass and I'm fully partnered at 10,000, I'll transition over that content here, and I'll treat that channel more of a gaming channel or game related. I have a lot of videos I want to do related to like how to have a low latency setup for competitive gaming, or people who just want to take their gaming to the next level. There are a lot of different sources of input lag. or lag in general. One source can be your controller, even though it's wireless, so it's always a good idea if your console supports it like the Xbox does. If you go wired, for example, it will actually not use the radios. It wasn't always like that with the 360, I believe. But with the Xbox One, it will actually it'll use the actual USB connection, which is faster, and you reduce some input lag there. There's people who play with like low input lag video input lag monitors. I'm gonna actually measure a couple gaming monitors that claim to have very low input lag and actually tell you what the actual input lag is, so you can see that for yourselves. I'm gonna do some experimentation, hypothesis. I've heard people complain, to use the shortest video cable possible to reduce input lag. Not sure if that's how much of a impact it will have, so we'll measure that. We'll do a lot of different types of experiments. But anyway, just a little sort of taste of the sort of testing I'm going to be doing, and then recommendations for your setup if you're a gamer and you're interested in. So that's the sort of content I'll keep on the sort of Zexon channel, just because that makes more sense to keep that there. That's more of a gaming thing. And then the rest of the time will just be some of my silly streams or gaming related sort of ideas, thoughts, opinions, or also reporting on gaming news. All right, we're almost there. I'm trying to vamp for some filler. What is the worst part of this whole thing? It's just about, okay, we got about another 1.5 feet. Let's see if we can speed this along. Then what I'm probably also going to do is I'm going to follow up, for those who don't have the patience to watch this video in full, because it is going to be a long video. Doing this, I'll have a sort of edited, shortened version, better production quality than sort of a live stream setup. If someone wants sort of the quick and dirty and they don't want to actually see it done from start to finish, just get basically the cliff notes, the highlights of how to do something like this, I'm going to produce another video because I have another friend who also wants a custom cable done. But I'm going to use there we go. Nice and tight. Alright. I'm going to use a different color Techflex. It's going to be red and black. That's the color he chose. So two different friends, each who want their own custom cables. Alright, so what I'm doing is I'm leaving about that much over. So this is where the cable ends and this is just extra. And I have that on both ends. Yeah. So here we go. Alright, so I think what I want to do is I want to snake through both ends. So I'm going to snake through this end. Needs to be in this orientation, but I'm going to snake this through so that it snakes all the way to the other end from one side. Just do it here. Alright, so the idea I had was I'm going to try to squish this down and maybe use a little bit of a gaffer's tape or something to make sure the ends stay nice and tight. This may or may not work, so this is just literally, I did not dry run this. It's just a quick experiment to see if we can snake this through. I don't think this is going to work the way I think it is going to work. We'll see. Oh. Ah, it actually did work. Sweet. Alright, there we go. One tip in. I'm going to slide this guy down all the way. I should be very gentle because the heat is probably gonna burn it. Techflex is like super, like just doing that hurts my hand. It's very rough. All right, so that one's there. Let's open up the second tip. Let's do the same, but this time the right orientation. This should be much easier just because. And there we go. All right, so shouldn't be too bad as far as remembering, unlike the custom speaker video where you need to remember to put on certain like sleeves ahead of time and pieces ahead of time, otherwise before you solder. I don't know why I keep saying solder. Otherwise you'll screw yourself. With this one, the only piece that has to go on is this. So what's gonna happen is, I'm gonna put that over there. We'll be soldering one connection here, the other connection here. This piece just literally goes on top like that, and it has a split middle here. I don't know if you can see that. Sort of here, so I can literally just snap it onto the cable. And then this goes like this. And then this piece just goes right over like that. This piece just goes over like that. Oops. Do that again. This goes here. I gotta look at the camera, make sure you can see. Like that. Right? And then this piece just comes over like this. And then you just screw it onto the base. Alright, anyway. Let's see. Alright. Cut this so we have a fresh tip. Another reason why I left that much of a on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down a little bit further, and I'm going to create a big gap, and I'm going to tape that down because I want to expose the cable. There we go. Just like that. I'm going to take this piece of gaffer's tape. Should have made them longer. Alright, just to keep the Techflex down. Just tape it there. You can see that. Keep that down so I can work with this. Cut the fresh tip here. Alright, this is going to be the interesting part, which is getting to the outer shielding. So if you've ever worked with sort of unbalanced cable, it has a let's see if we can show that. You can see that there's an outer ring here of a sort of a copper shielding, and then an inner core, which is the other end of the copper connection. And so the trick is going to be getting this outer shielding off without cutting. I might actually wind up cutting a little bit of the copper cable, so I'll just do a tip and see if I can split it apart that way. We'll see how it goes. I'm gonna just sort of roll this all around. There we go. Yeah, and I can see that I cut a little bit of that, so I don't want that because I'll lose part of this. So if you can see that now, it's like a braiding, and if you can just twist it out, you can see the braiding like that. Alright? And so that's the shielding, that's the copper shielding that goes over the inner cable. Anyway, so I'm going to see if I can split this down without breaking. I wish there was a string. A lot of times there's like a little string insert you can use to sort of split the cable down. This doesn't seem to have that, so that's unfortunate. We'll see what we can do. Gotta remember to speak into the mic. I'm gonna turn this mic, so apologize for any mic noise, just so that when I lean forward you can hear. But I'm going to split this. I'm going to try to see if I can force a split by just sort of creating a vertical tear along the axes of the cable, and then seeing if I can just split it with my hand. Alright. Because I know, look, I'll lose copper as a result, so I don't want to use this like that. Alright, let's see. No, that doesn't look like it's going to work. So I'm just going to have to start again. I'm just going to be super careful as I roll this tip around. Yep, so, alright, I made a cut that doesn't go all the way, which is good. So I know I didn't cut any copper. See if I can work that. Perfect. Alright. If I just force it, I can finish breaking it here. There we go. Alright, and this time I didn't cut any of the copper shielding. Alright, so that's great. If you can see that, I'm gonna just peel back the shielding all to one side here. And then I'm gonna sort of twist this. Just like that. All right. Now, I'm gonna try to use a stripper, wire stripper here. Ha. So, interesting. This has just a plastic wrap over it, or rubbery wrap, hiding another layer, which is much thicker. This kind of reminds me of coaxial cable, where it has the sort of this white other protective layer in here. All right. Let's see if we can strip that guy now. This should be a little bit easier. So hopefully without don't know what the inner gauge is here, so I'm trying to be really careful not to. I suspect it's 14. I should actually look at the website. I'll put it in the description. Yeah, that's about right. Looks like 14 is about right here. At least for the stripper, as far as the stripper is concerned. Rock it gently. Looks like I might have got it there. And then I'll go back down to 12 so that I know that I won't cut into. There we go. Alright, got that guy off. We're going to also do the same thing, just a little slight twist. What we're going to do is we're going to tin this. I'm going to tin this, hopefully. So this should go like here, and that one should go there. So what I'll do is I'll tin this one first, if you can see that, in the center connector, and then based on how much length I have left over, I will trim that so that it touches just the very edge of this, so it doesn't go too far in. Yeah, noticing in the stream that it's a little delayed, but a little out of focus, but you'll see what it looks like when it's all done. All right, so I'm just gonna use my little alligator clips here to hold this in place. And what I want to do is I want to make sure I'm not gripping the Techflex with this, because this stuff is pretty brittle with sharp things, so it'll fall apart. I'm just gonna use and I don't, even though this cable will be covered, I do want to kind of protect it, so I'm going to put another layer of gaffer's tape and then clip that so that I have a good, nice, tight connection. Alright, and I'm actually going to reverse this so that I'm lefty, so just do it this way, tighten this up. Alright, unlike my previous video where I had a little bit of it wasn't the worst time in the world tinning, I'm going to use a little bit of this stuff I picked up online, and I'm not endorsing this brand, but it's a rosin flux, sort of a liquid flux that you can put on, and it should draw the solder to it a little bit easier than what was happening before. So interesting. I'm actually gonna raise the camera a little because I realize some of this is getting cut out. Hopefully that'll help and you can see a little better. So I'm gonna take a little bit. Oh, actually didn't even start the soldering iron. Good thing about this soldering iron is it heats up like extremely fast. It's 300 degrees, 400 degrees, 500 degrees. We're getting there, slowing down. 600 degrees, 680. I don't remember setting it this high the last time, but oh crap. But yeah, I had a protective tip on there. I forgot to take it off. That was my oh crap moment because I could have melted it. Anyway, I'm gonna wet the sponge, so let me do that now. Alright, we got a nice wet sponge. That's don't like how this is situated. It's asking for something to happen. Alright. A little bit of this liquid flux on there. A little bit of our actually, you know what? Let me take this whole thing off. So I have two different types of solder. I have a silver solder and a standard standard solder, whatever you want to call it. So it used to be at 11 back in the day, so I don't know what the equivalent is now. I'm gonna put a little bit of solder on the tip, and I'm just gonna whoop, boing. See how quick that was? That was fantastically quick because of the liquid flux. So we're gonna put a little liquid flux on this guy. I don't know if you can see that. Again, a little solder on the tip, and then it'll just draw right into it. Liquid flux does a great job with that. Alright. Alright. I'll show you what this looks like. Actually going to take some of the excess off. A little bit of excess on there. There we go. You can see that. It's nice. Good coverage this time around, which is fantastic. Oops. Mic noise. All right. Let's put this guy back. For the crazy purists that like to use silver in their speaker cables, they would love that silver solder. It's actually, even though this is electrical silver solder, it's generally used for, I think, piping. Anyway, neither here nor there. All right, let's see. So we have that there. We're gonna put this here. Hopefully you can see that like that. Get a good focus. Now I want to cut off some of the excess, so I'm going to trim this. So that's a good fit. I don't want any exposed cable to potentially short out. So I want to make it just the right size. It fits right in that cavity. That looks good. That's just the right size. Alright. Alright, so I'm going to leave this here. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-tin this guy, because I think that'll make making the two connect much easier. So what I'm going to also do is protect the tip. This is a gold-plated plug, so I want to cover this as well with some gaffer's tape so that I don't ruin the tip and remove some of the electroplating. Okay. And same thing, just a little bit of this liquid flux, just so that we have no trouble connecting. All right. Perfect. That's why I have the silicone mat, so when I make spills like I just did right there, I don't have to worry about burning anything. Perfect. Wow, that was great. Couldn't have planned that one better. Alright, let me show you what that looks like now. I don't know if you can see this, but that came out really nice. Hopefully it shows up in the video. I don't know if the lighting is too bright. Hopefully it's not too bad. Alright. Now, let's form Voltron. I'm gonna pin that one in there. We're gonna... Actually, I don't even need that one. I just one hand this guy. Alright. You go there, and I drop you there, and no, not enough. Let's try again. It kind of, no, it's not tight enough. There we go. That's a nice blob. That is a nice blob. Okay. There's a big ass blob. Alright, now I gotta measure this guy. I'm sure you're gonna see this, but I want about that much to connect to there. Fold that over like that. If you can see that, it's already in. Rinse and repeat. It's gonna be a short video, it looks like. key here is making sure I don't connect the two. With my luck, I will. Alright, that's nice and clean. I'm not going to use any extra solder because there should be enough in there, hopefully. Just got to get it warming up. You know what? I am going to double clamp this because I really want this to be stable. Ugh. Oh, crap. These clamps are a little bit wonky. They're meant to spin around. There we go. Hopefully that's stable enough. They're meant to spin around, so and not what I wanted. Exactly the opposite of what I wanted to happen. So I knew it was that expression when you celebrate too early. I'm making a connection between the two, which is what exactly I didn't want to happen. So I need to break it. So I realized that the second cable, the one I'm connecting towards the bottom, is really thick, and it's so thick it's actually touching the top. I should have twisted it but made it more flat so that I don't have this problem. Okay, I broke it. I broke the connection, which is good. I'm just gonna support it from the side just so that I know it has a good connection from the side. Okay. I have bad eyes, so I'm gonna actually use my phone. To zoom in really good, make sure there's nothing. Nope, it's good. It is good. It's very hot still. Very hot. Woo. Extremely hot. Alright, anyway, that looks good. Sure, it's really good connection. Okay, so it looks like we got a good connection. Alright, the next part is this guy. And as I said before, this can just... Sorry, I keep forgetting. Actually, I should try to show you the connection. Not sure if you can see that very well. We're going to put this part over now. And like I said, you can just sort of clip it on. Actually, I want to clip it on after I put the Techflex back up. So let me let this Techflex loose. Let's let it loose. And it's gonna like go way over, and that's okay. I'd rather have more Techflex than less Techflex. So we'll start trimming it down. See how much more I need. Nope, still need to trim more. Still need more. There, I'm gonna keep trimming it. I realize I'm not doing a good job keeping this in frame. So what's the point of a live stream if you can't actually see what I'm doing? Better at pre-produce things where I control the camera. Alright. Getting there. We are getting there. Alright, just a little bit more and I think we're done. Alright. Trim around this. Sometimes it's just worth using a scissor. Alright, let's pull this. And we still have extra. Alright, let's trim a little bit more. I'm trying to be really careful because I know myself. I'll get really aggressive and then I'll have too little. And I'll hate myself. Okay. I'm lefty and I'm using left-handed scissors. Yay for left-handed scissors. Didn't realize how much of a difference they actually make. I'm cheating. I'm just gonna pull the excess this way and I'll deal with it on the other end so I can speed this along. Nope, I have to. Damn it. Alright. I have to deal with it. I have to deal with it. Okay. There we go. Perfect. All right. Yeah. So what else? I gotta put this guy on. Keep forgetting to keep it in the frame. There you go. It's on. Just like that. Weird looking, I know. But that's how it goes. And then this guy butts up against the bottom of it. Just like that. Alright, let's get this gaffer's tape off the tip here. So tight. I didn't expect it to give me a hard time getting off. There we go. Ta-da! Alright. This goes over here like that. And this just screws in like so. Ooh, it's tight. try the other one. There we go. A little bit better. This Techflex is adding a little bit to the girth of it, making it a little bit tighter than. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to. You can see that. There's a little bit of a gap right there for me to finish screwing that in. And I'm going to have to use like pliers, but I don't want to mess up the nice finish on this thing. So I'm just going to do that offline, I guess. I'm almost, it's almost in all the way. Alright, so now I'm going to push back. I don't know if you can see the bottom there, but a little bit of this rubber sticking out. Sorry, a little bit of the rubber sticking out here. I'm just going to force it back in. Some tweezers. These are needle nose. I don't want these. Oh, they're both needle. I wanted some blunt tweezers. I'm afraid if I use these guys, they'll puncture it. I can use a flathead probably. There we go. So what I could have done is bring it up and then bring it down, which I can do on the other side, so that it doesn't do this. But it's not that big a deal. All right, all in. All in. Turn the mic. So now you can see that a little bit better, hopefully. It's all tucked in now. And that's it. This is isn't too shabby. You can end the video there if that's I mean, because it's just rinse and repeat on the other end. But if you want to see the completed thing, keep watching. We're gonna finish this. Right, not too shabby. It's gonna look better with the red and it's gonna look like this. Pull the old one. So this is the speaker cable I made in the last video, if you can see this. But it's going to be this kind of Techflex for the other speaker cable. It's a nicer looking Techflex. I think it'll add a lot of like a premium look to it, a better premium look to it. So anyway, my friend wanted black, he gets black. So, but the second set I'm going to make is going to be a 15-footer. That one will be done with that nice red and black Techflex, which I think will make it look nicer. Anyway, so like I said, it's rinse and repeat, so you can end the video here. If you want to see the finished product, you can continue watching. I'm gonna do what I did with the other one, and actually I'm gonna do that tucking in now, so I don't have to worry about it later. There we go. It's tucked in. Tucked it in. See that or not? And I'm gonna cut this a little bit more than last time, because I don't want to have to deal with that again. There we go. See how much of this gaffer's tape I can reuse. It's really sloppy, but as long as it works. I'm trying to figure out where I put the roll. It's in here somewhere, because I'm gonna need another one. Anyway, let's do the other end of this. Let's start with a clean Nice clean tip. And we'll do it again. We'll roll. Okay. I need to go a little deeper than that. Okay. Alright. It's terrible. I guess down here is the right way to do it. Roll it. Okay. There we go. Good. It didn't damage the copper. So now it's just a matter of forcing it to rip. There we go. Sweet. Rinse and repeat. Shielding is on here. We're gonna reverse twist it just to get it loose. Pull that all to one side. Over here. And we're gonna, sorry, just twist that like that. And we're gonna try to learn from the mistake last time. See how thick that is? That's really thick. I'm gonna try to flatten this out a little bit so that it's not so thick when I solder it in. All right. Same for this side. This has that sort of gummy, rubbery shielding over the semi-translucent shielding there, the milky shielding. I'm gonna take that off, and then we're left with that milky shielding again. I think that was I started with a 10. No, it was a 12. Rocket, quarter turn, rocket, quarter turn back, rocket. Let's see if we got anything. Nope, we'll have to go to 14. Okay. Rocket. Rocket. Let's try now. Come on, 12. There we go. Alright, same thing here. I'm gonna twist. Alright. A little bit of magic flux. This thing is night and day difference. Done. That's super quick. Super quick. Same thing on the other end. Put a little bit of flux on there. You don't want it soaking. Just want enough to coat it so that when I do this, it just rolls right down the end. I just realized I have the heat gun and I'm not using any shrink tubing, so that was kind of stupid. Let's clean this up a little bit. Looks good. I'm going to cut that tip off and part of that tip off, so it should be pretty good, I think. All right. Anyway, rinse and repeat. Measure this out. Try to get that just about the right size. Just a little bit more. I'd rather it be. I want 0 exposure. Looks about right. Perfect. This time around I'm gonna, we're experimenting, so this time around I'm gonna cut the bottom first. Try to figure out how much I need to cut. All right. So cut the bottom. I'm gonna tin this guy. Let me just find that. Here it is. Find some of that gaffer's tape. It's not the right thing to use, honestly. The best thing to use for something like this is painter's tape, because it really doesn't it gives you enough hold, but it doesn't damage anything. But I ain't got it, so this is what I'm using. Because you don't want a lot of residue, right? That's the key. You don't want residue on this thing. Yeah. You don't want residue, because again, you want to have a good solid connection. And I'll probably clean it up really quickly after, just to make sure. All right, let's put some magic flux. I'm gonna trademark that name for brand flux. Call it magic flux. Right on the tip of the soldering iron so that it drips right onto it. For the center one, perfect. And then on the tip again for it works out really nicely. See if I don't screw it up this time. That looks really nice. You can see that very well or not. I think it's too bright. I think every time I do that you can't see it, because I'm seeing zebra stripes, which tells me that lighting is too bright. I apologize. But it's got a nice thin sort of layer of solder. It's not thick at all. It's just like coating it, almost like painting it on. There. Try going closer, but I doubt you'll see it. Yeah, stupid lighting. Maybe if I do that, you can see it better. I don't see zebra stripes now. Anyway, I'm not gonna obsess about it. Let's put this tip on. All right. Out of the way. Hopefully it's not too thick this time. We'll do the bottom first. Yeah, it's not working out the way I want it to. Part of it is that this thing keeps moving. Ugh, stay still. There we go. That's nice. It's actually really nice. Let's see if we can do that on the other end. It's nice. Oops. Alright, let's see how that came out. I see one side looks good. How does the other side look? Oh, very good. Very good. Alright, so this should be like cakewalk now. Key here is don't bend. Ah, I got it on the table. Defeats the purpose of having a mat. You're just gonna get it on the table. Perfect. Perfect this time around. Perfect this time around. Yay. Sorry, I'm really silly. The unedited version of me is a really silly guy. Actually didn't damage the table. Awesome. Alright. Yeah. Much better. This one's much better. Okay, we'll see that. We'll see if you can... I'm going to try to angle it so the light doesn't really... Can't really tell. I wish I could see myself better. Sorry. I keep forgetting to talk into the mic. This is hard. Alright, yeah. So, good connection. Really tight. So I'm actually happy about this one. Let's take this off the tip. Let's take this off the body. Okay. Alright. We have a lot of excess here. Pull this cable so we can get a sense for how much excess is here. Alright, I'm going to pull from one end to the other just to make sure. I'm going to bring this guy over and over and over. And it's literally burning my hand right now. It's like a rug burn, like a hard, sort of, almost, what's the word? It's like a, it's like a plastic sandpaper. No other way to describe it. Just no other way to describe it. Sorry, I'm just trimming it. I tend to get quiet. I shouldn't do these at night. I should not do these at night. Streams, because I get really quiet. Better at just filming things than I am of streaming it because I don't put things in frame. I just keep realizing I'm not in frame. I should just turn this camera this way, solve the problem, right? Stop being a moron. Alright. Just trimming some of this excess off. How much excess do I have to deal with? Just a little bit more. Yay, all done. Okay. All right. Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. Put this piece back on. Snap that over just like that. Bring this guy up. Yeah, I gotta figure out a better way of angling these things. I'm never in frame, I realize. And twist, 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 twist. Why is it so tight? I feel like I'm maybe not twisting it at the right angle. Because this should just work. Like going in crooked. Yeah. I don't want to strip it. It's plastic. This is metal, but this is plastic. It's almost like it's not. This is the same one that gave me a hard time on the other end. Maybe I have a defective one. Yeah, it's like twisting at a wrong angle. This is better. Okay, that's better. All right. That's better. All right, like the other end, I'm gonna have to. There's a little bit of a gap there. I'm gonna have to use super tight. Wrap this in like more gaffer's tape and then use 2 pliers to finish twisting it. I think this Techflex is just making it a little too thick. I did test the tips and the sleeve thing to make sure they fit, so I knew they connected. But I think that extra thickness is giving it some tough time. So the unfortunate thing is he's not gonna be able to reuse these tips if he ever wants to change the sleeving or anything. We'll have to get new tips. But that's okay. So, there you have it. $10 feet. Mogami cable, 25-24. Nutric mono tips, 1/4 inch. There you have it. So, all done. Stay tuned for the nicely highly produced, very quick video version of this. I won't re-edit this. I'll just do a really well produced version.